Well, a very good afternoon from Lakeside Stadium here in the beautiful city of Melbourne, Victoria, for weekend number 2, or days 4, 5 and 6 of the Coles 2019 Athletics Victoria Track and Field Championships. Our lead commentator today in the box, looking forward to it, Tim Crosby. Welcome to the broadcast. Tim, what are you looking forward to tonight?
Thanks, Glenn. Well, actually, I'm looking forward to the whole lot. There's some really good stuff out there. The track's going to lead off with the 5,000 metre walk, which in Victoria it's a standout event because we've got a Commonwealth Games gold medalist walking. We've also got Triple Olympian Chris Eriksson, Ridian Cowley's out there, multiple international representative, and we've got Perseus Karlström from Sweden. He's going to go for a Swedish record tonight, apparently, Glenn.
Also, we have the men's open 3,000 metre steeplechase coming a little later on the program, then the heats of the men's and women's 800 metres on the track, so plenty of action to look forward to. But this weekend is all about middle distance running.
Yes and no. I think there's some other good events out there too, Glenn, but also women's steeple tonight as well is on, and Charlotte Wilson defending, or she'll be going for a three-peat in that event tonight if she does register and get herself in. She's certainly on the entry list. And also the 800 heats. Now, 800s in Victoria are cutthroat. To get through to the final of the 8, you have to be a very, very good middle distance runner. So it'll be some great excitement tonight as we see the men's and women's 800s. Lots of junior events too, Glenn. And in the field, we're casting our eyes at the moment over on the triple jump. And the under-20 women's triple, that's a great event too.
Yeah, looking forward to the women's 8. Georgia Griffith, if of course she checks in, have a great battle with Morgan Mitchell, who's listed on our performance start list. A couple of other names: Maddie Caulfield, Gigi McIgnini.
Well, Katrina Bissett's one who's been running very well this season, so Kat will be one who's certainly in the mix tonight.
And then in the men's competition, of course, we have a plethora, including Luke Matthews, Matthew Scott from Melbourne University. So some big hitters coming out before Perth. Felix Lonergan in the field, Lachlan Hurd, Isaac Hockey.
Actually, another one to watch out for there, Glenn, will be Beddoes from the Cook Islands. He's going to go for the Cook Islands national record.
So we're nearly ready, Tim, to introduce the first of our walk events.
So good evening and welcome to the Lakeside Stadium for the 2019 Coles State Track and Field Championships here. And first event on the track is on the line and ready to go. And that is a combined 5,000 metre race walk for men and women open age groups. In the women, we have 6 starters representing Ballarat YCW, Gemma Piatt. From Victorian Masters, in Station 2, Kim Osmond. In Station 3, from Sandringham, Philippa Hughes. Station 4, representing Glen Huntly Athletic Club, Emily Hamilton. In Station 5, from Ballarat YCW, Alana Piatt. And in Station 6, our Commonwealth Games gold medalist from Melbourne University, Jemima Montag. In our men's competition, we also have 6 starters. In Station 8, from the Corio Athletic Club, Daniel Walters. In Station 9, from Mentone Athletic Club, Rupert Van Dongen. Station 10, from Mornington Peninsula, Kyle Bird. Station 11, representing Sweden, we welcome Perseus Karlström. In Station 12, from the Glen Huntly Athletic Club, Ridian Cowley. In Station 13, from Athletics Essendon, Christopher Eriksson. So 12 starters in the combined men's and women's open 5,000 metre race walk championship of Victoria. So underway now in this walk, and it's Perseus Karlström, the international walker, already off to a good start there. Ridian Cowley then tracking him, Jemima Montag not too far behind. Now Karlström is going for a 3,000 metre record for Sweden. At the moment in the box we're not sure of what that is, but we will find that out during the course of the evening. And you can see Karlström already off to a good start here. Another thing to note, Glenn, tonight, if Ridian Cowley wins the Victorian Championship, which Karlström is obviously ineligible for, he will join Chris Eriksson on 7 wins, the most wins by any individuals. So Ridian is going for that 7th win to join Chris, who's in the field as well tonight. So I'll be watching with interest as Ridian Cowley also gets around the track tonight.
So lots of possible records, and you talked about Perseus Karlström. He currently holds 6 national records back in Sweden, ranging from 10-kilometre road and track, 20-kilometre road and track. I'll have these, I don't have the list in front of me, I've given it to you, Tim, to bring in, but of course you've forgotten it, which is fine. So the mile walk, the 10,000 metre walk on the track, and the 20,000 metre, the 15-kilometre walk on the road, the 10K walk on the road, and the 20 and 50K are the current records held by Perseus Karlström back in Sweden. So
Karlström is a 2-time World Championship competitor, I think 2013 and 2015. These are the World Champs. Hasn't done the Olympics yet, but obviously we're going into that Tokyo cycle at the moment. Perseus had a good win just a couple of weeks ago in the Oceania Champs in Adelaide. Did the 20K there in 1:20.05, which is bang on 4-minute kilometres for the 20K walk there. Ridian Cowley wasn't too far off him, 1:23 in that event in Adelaide. But we've already seen a gap of about 35 metres opening up as they go through the 600 metres. Montag looking really good there, Glenn. So you can just see Jemima in a really nice flow.
Yeah, early stages, setting the pace, getting nice and comfortable, getting into a rhythm, and she's 3rd in the oval race at the moment.
So Cole Bird currently in 3rd place for the men, 2nd in the Vic Champs. Chris Eriksson just giving a wave there, probably to family or supporters. Chris is now moving into that bronze medal position in the Victorian Champs. Just ahead of Daniel Walters. And he's in the Corio uniform. So in the women's comp, it looks like it might be Hughes in 2nd position there. Alana Piet, we saw her in great form last weekend in the junior event. Her sister Gemma not too far behind. Then we've got the Glenn Huntley Walker as well, which is Emily Hamilton. So Karlström's going to get the 1K split now as he comes through. So 3:43.53 is the 1K split there for Karlström going through in this 5,000 metre event. And now we'll throw down to announce the field in the Women's Open Shot Put event. This is the 88th running of this event. The Victorian record is held by Gail Martin from Glenroy, 19.74 metres set in 1984. Championship record, also Gail Martin from Glenroy, 1936, also set in 1984. The 2018 champion was Jessica Kaufman from Glen Huntley with 13.03. And our competitors are, representing Albury Athletics, Kiana Soroka. In Station 2 from South Bendigo, Emma Berg. Station 3 from Melbourne University, Kira Davey. Station 4 from Dandenong Springvale, Corey Pendry. Station 6, representing Athletics Essendon, Louise Mendez. Station 7 from Box Hill, Rachel Limburg. Station 8, representing Williamstown, Celeste Mucci. And in Station 9, representing Eureka Athletics, it is Emma Werner. So they're our starters in the 88th Women's Victorian Open Shot Put Championship.
So 9 laps to go for Karlström in the 5K walk, and he is absolutely flying in these early stages. He's already got 100 metres on Ridian Cowley.
Yeah, it's just about spot on 100 as we see Karlström go through the 1500 start and Ridian come through the start-finish line. Looking down the track then, and we see a Montag moving along quite nicely. Bird and also Ericsson not too far adrift of her, followed by Walters.
Yeah, Montag doing a great job. And look, we have 6 walk officials at the moment, so they're doing a great job across the 5K walk, making sure that everyone complies, particularly with a number of records that we're looking to follow during tonight's telecast.
So PB for Montag's 21:32.86 set in this event last year. So she's got a fair break on the next of our women, who I believe that would be 23:50 from Philippa Hughes. And that's the way it's playing out at the moment, as we see Hughes and also Piatt still together. But on the screen at the moment, we're seeing Kyle Bird and also Chris Ericsson. So Ericsson looks like he's in a position to actually take over that second position. Sorry, third on the track, but second in the Victorian Championships behind Ridian Cowley from Glen Huntley. So as mentioned, if Ridian wins the Victorian Champs tonight, he equals Chris Ericsson on 7 individual wins, and that is the most by any individual, so there'll be 2 of them. So Ridian got plenty to walk for tonight. Multi-talented Ridian Cowley. And we see him also crossing over to do standard running. He's represented Victoria, I think, in the half marathon team once before, and certainly is a very competent runner as well as walker for the Glen Huntley Athletic Club. So he's got about 120 up on Ericsson, who has gone past Bird now for that silver medal position. Walters going along quite nicely. So Walters has a best of 22:24. Ericsson's best is 19:23.
So 7:25.12 for 2K, Tim.
So Karlstrom's actually maintaining good pace. 7:22.25. Yeah, he's given it was 3:43, I think, for the first K. He is really moving along beautifully.
Yeah, he's certainly getting into his race. Looking very relaxed as well, as with our runners. You can tell how relaxed he is by his shoulders. He's, at this stage, looking very comfortable in his face, Tim, so there is still lots of walking in this young man.
Totally agree, and we'll be interested to see that he'll come around and come through the 3K mark in 2 more laps' time, as we're just tracking him at the moment, and very smooth action. He'll have overtaken all of the field bar Cowley, I'd say, within another lap or 2. So that's nice, Glenn, because it just gives him something to zero in on.
Yeah, look, we made the decision to combine this race, which we can do under the IAAF rules. So a little bit of traffic out there for our leader, but I don't think that's going to worry him heading into the halfway point, past the halfway point right now in this race.
We're also seeing Walters now go into the bronze medal position in the Vic Champs, just gone ahead of Bird at the moment. So Bird's best is 22:18, but that's way back in February 2014, so a while ago since Kyle was knocking over PBs in this 5,000 metre walk. We're just seeing Perseus alongside Walters now and going past. Next in his sights will be Chris Ericsson. So Montag coming down now. She'll have 6 to go. We'll try and get a fix on Jemima as she goes through that 3K mark. Sorry, that'll be 7 to go for Montag, because it's 6 to go now for Karlstrom.
7 for Green, 7 and 7. Mornington 7.
So he's moving beautifully out into just on the fringes of lane number 2 as he's passing some of the other competitors in this event. But he's certainly a strong walker, a strong physique in what we're seeing in the 5K, and it's a great opportunity for our open men and women. We've already got considerable depth in walking, as we've discussed previously, particularly results at Commonwealth and Olympic Games and World Championships, but it's wonderful to see Percy's coming out to support the Athletics Victoria State Championships, and Ridian coming to get 6 laps to go. Sorry, 6 laps to go, yep.
So 38.39, Glenn, is the 10K walk PB for Karlstrom. That's pretty impressive. So, you know, there's not a lot of runners who are running 38 minutes, and Perseus, as you can see with this beautiful form of his, that's what he can do. He's also got a 79-minute 20K, which is sub 4-minute Ks, and 3:44.35 for the classic distance 50.
So this is coming down to get 5 laps to go.
So this will be that 3K mark. So we're waiting to see the clock stop for Perseus Karlstrom coming through at the 3 kilometre mark.
So we're sitting right behind our chief photo finish team. So unofficially 11:08.31. We've captured the photo, so we'll help Perseus at the conclusion, but hopefully that brings him a big smile and some.
So that means another lap through. We'll try and get Jemima's time through the 3K as well, Glenn. That'll give a good indication how she's tracking. Conditions tonight actually not too bad here for this 5K walk. Bit of a breeze coming across the stadium, I think. Probably more of a southerly. So official time there, 11:08.27 for Karlstrom through that 3 kilometres. That's the official time.
And look, he's picked up the pace in the back half of this race. So less than 2K to go. And Ridian doing a great job coming down to get 5 laps from...
Beautiful consistency though, 3:43, 3:42, 3:43 were his 3 kilometres, separate kilometres there. So he is just nailing that those splits. You see him now, Gemma Pert's Piet is next on his list. So good battle here too for women's silver and bronze. We're seeing that battle just playing out there going through the start-finish line. That's Hughes and also Alana Piet. Gemma Piet next one on the list there, coming through in 4th. So Jemima Montag now coming down, and she'll be getting the 5 laps to go. So this will indicate her 3K split.
And then 5 behind. 5 for Montag? Yeah.
So Jemima coming through now. This will be 3K for her. And she'll be stopping the clock there, 13:05 thereabouts.
And then the green one will be on 5. Yep. And the Mentone will be on 7. Thank you. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
So you mentioned before the national record held by Dane Bird Smith of 18:38.97. Interesting to see how close Perseus gets to that. He's doing a marvellous job, led from start to finish, and he's keeping up his 1K reps nearly to the second.
He certainly is. He's going through beautifully at the moment. So as he comes down now, he'll have about 120 metres gap to himself and also Ridian Cowley, the leader in the Victorian Champs. So currently the champ standings for the men are Cowley, Ericsson and Walters, with Walters making a bit of a move here and Ericsson not too far in front of him. For the women, Montag, and then Hughes and Piet of the Alana variety coming through now. So 3 to go there for Perseus. This will be the 3K mark, 14:16 for Hughes. So we'll be approaching now the 4th kilometre for Perseus Karlstrom, coming down the back straight. See if our good folk in the photo finish can get that 4K split. So 3:47 split, that one for Karlstrom. Just easing off a little bit. It's still on a very good pace, Glenn. 3:47 the last split.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. He's an imposing figure and a strong individual as well. You can see his face is just starting to grimace a little bit. He's in the pocket, in the zone, and he's nice and comfortable right across his shoulders. He's got great leg extension. That's about as much as I'm going to describe, because we're going to leave it to our officials in relation to enforcing the rules.
So what did you say Dane Bird-Smith's Australian record was?
So 18:38.97.
Well, he needs a 3:43, which is what he was doing earlier, closing kilometre, if he wants to be on that mark, just as an indicator.
So there is an all-comers record, which I will double-check for you.
Man of many facts, Glenn Turner.
Well, if not, I'll go straight down to the Australian record statistician, Rhonda Jenkins, and he'll be able to help me out in 30 seconds, hopefully.
So Montag's just coming down now into the straight. She's about to go past Piet. So Gemma Piet's got a best of 24.12, and Montag just coming past her. But looking down the track, and it's Alana Piet who's now taken the second position there in the Victorian Championships. As I said, a big walk from Alana last week. She walked 24.53. She's now getting a little bit of gap there over Philippa Hughes, who's got a best of 23.50.
So the Australian all-comers record for 5K is held by Ida Sanchez from Mexico. So
and the time is
18:40.11.
18:40.11.
So
will we see an all-time record here in Australia? The all-comers is 18:40.
So
82 seconds to do it. Sorry, 92 seconds to do it, I think. What do you think, Glenn?
I'm not a betting person, but I tell you, this will be a wonderful way to open up day 4.
Let's get behind Perseus Karlström from Sweden. We might be seeing the fastest ever 5K walk in this country. So get behind him on the last lap. He's onto the back straight now. So Karlsson from Sweden went for that 3,000 record. Are we also going to see an all-comers record subject to the judge's discretion?
Well, the Australian national is 18:38.97, and we hope that Dane Bird-Smith may be joining us. There's 200 metres to go.
He's got 50 seconds to do it. I think we've got this in the bag, just about Glenn Turner.
Well, there's 150 metres to go, and of course we have to wait for our chief walks judge to give the clearance to the competition director. But ladies and gentlemen, what a wonderful display we've seen this evening from Perseus, who's joining us here at Lakeside Stadium. And Tim to call him home.
He's in the last 100 now. The time check 18:15. We're going to see the fastest ever walk over 5,000 metres in Australia. So Perseus Karlström coming down. Let's get behind him. Big applause here at Lakeside Stadium. An awesome performance. Let's hope it's a legal one. So Perseus Karlström is going to be just over 18:30. What an awesome display. 18:32 unofficial.
6 seconds off that Australian record and nearly 9 seconds off the Australian all-comers record. And we will go down and have a chat to him to see whether he's broken his own 3K walk record.
That is a major performance, Glenn Turner. What a way to start this program. So I hope everyone in the crowd's appreciating that. We've never seen anything quite like that, and let's just hope that that was legal. So the judges will confer. Back on track, and let's see where Ridian is. He's down the back straight. He wasn't lapped by Perseus, so that's a good thing for Ridian, and he'll be coming through. And it looks like Walters has moved into the silver medal position there for the Vicks. Chris Eriksson in the bronze. So Ridian Cowley coming down. The defending Victorian champion going for title number 7 to equal Chris Eriksson. So Ridian Cowley from Glen Huntly. A great Victorian athlete, and we'll just see him just doing the crossed arm sign there. That's to keep the 50K walk. So very symbolic there. As we see Montag coming down. She's on the bell. Jemima Montag on the bell now. Just about to go past Philippa Hughes from Sandringham, currently in the bronze medal position. Alana Piet about another 30 metres ahead. So as we said, Jemima is the 2018 Commonwealth Games champion over 20 kilometres. She came third in the Oceania Champs in February in Adelaide with a PB of 1:30.51 for the 20k. She also did a PB of 43.59 for the 10k in Canberra in January. Jemima Montag is in form, and once again we're seeing an impressive display. Also impressive is Chris Ericsson as he goes back into the silver medal position in the Vic Champs, just ahead of Walters from Corio. This battle is on. Bird from Mornington Peninsula, adrift by about another 50 metres in a great competition for the men here this evening at Lakeside Stadium. So Jemima Montag just going past Alana Piatt. So she's going to ease out into that third lane. So a PB for her of 21.32, so not quite that tonight as we see that tick over. But a great walk once again. It'll be a sub 22 minute performance once again for Jemima Montag from Melbourne University, taking out the women's 5,000 metre walk. So 21.53 unofficial there for Montag.
And Tim, just interrupt, the Swedish national record was around 11.13, so 11.08.27 for 3K is another national record for Perseus. That'll be number 8 according to us. So we might be wrong, but we'll catch up with the boys after the conclusion of the 5K.
So looking down the stretch now, and it's Chris Ericsson, 7-time winner of the Victorian Championship. He's currently in that silver medal position. And Walters from Corio, third, currently waiting for that judge's decision to come through. But Chris Ericsson, once again, he'll do the cross. Yep, we got it from him. So Chris next through. Then we'll have a Walters from Corio. Great walking there from Daniel Walters. Kyle Bird next in the Mornington Peninsula colours. So looking down the track now, approaching the top bend is Alana Piatt, currently in the silver medal position. Philippa Hughes probably about 35 metres adrift of her. So Hamilton from Glen Huntly, she'll be coming through probably on her bell lap as we see Alana Piatt easing out into lane 3. Good walk last week, Glenn, in fairly challenging conditions. And it's great to see Alana backing up. And this will be a monstrous PB for her. I think she walked 24.53. Shows you the difference between 1 week and the conditions here at Lakeside. But Piatt, she'll be happy with that. And she's going to get it under the 24-minute mark. That's a good walk from her. Yet again, Hughes, great contributor to walking in Victoria. And Philippa Hughes, at this stage, in the bronze medal position here in the Victorian Champs. 24.05 unofficial for her.
Certainly a race with a number of records across a number of areas. And just had a very, very quick chat with Perseus and also with Ridian. Ridian's got a race in Japan next weekend, so great preparation for him, and also great support from Perseus and Ridian and for all of our walkers from the walking community. They're out in force, which is great.
That was a special night here at Lakeside, Glen. I've called some good walks here before. I've called some Victorian and Australian records, but gee, first time I've got a all-time or all-comers record here.
Well,
and Gemma Pert now coming through. The older of the Piatt sisters. Good walk there for her, 24.55, so that's faster than she did last week also here at Lakeside Stadium. So the two Piatt girls once again representing the Ballarat YCW club with pride here at Lakeside Stadium. So Kim Osmond coming through, she's probably getting the bell lap at the moment. Rupert Van Dongen also out there.
so this walk not quite finished. We've got Rupert Van Dongen from Mentone.
So Emily Hamilton, she's been out for a few years, I think, Glenn, but it's good to see Emily back through. She's going to be under the 26-minute mark here for this 5,000 metre walk. And we will throw down now to Ross Cunningham for the next of our presentations.
Thanks, Tim. Presentation now for the women's under-18 high jump, and receiving the bronze medal with a jump of 1.63 metre from Athletics Essendon, Maeve Bowsey. And receiving the silver medal with a jump of 1.66 metre from Gippsland AC, Isabella Leah. And our gold medalist with a jump also of 1.66 metre from Oaks Avarians, Eleanor McFarlane. So big congratulations to Eleanor, to Isabella and Maeve in the women's under-18 high jump. And we'll pass you back across to Tim Crosby in the commentary box.
Thanks, Ross. So Mendez in the ring for the preliminary rounds of the women's shot put. So still 2 competitors to go in the 5,000 metre walk.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Well done. Good bell, eh? I didn't bell at home, it's better than that. Probably a big 30 ball this year.
Yeah, it's going to be nervous times, isn't it, for that walk? We've called in an all-comers record, and we seriously want that to stay and for it to be legal. No, I must admit I wasn't really watching for that, but we'll soon see. And this shot put competition, Glenn, very interesting. Last year's winner, Jess Kaufman's not back again. It's, you know, who do we pick for a winner here? It's a very tight competition. And you've got lots of girls in the 12-metre range.
So it looks like we're at the end of round number 3, so we'll have reverse order. Now 2 field judges conferring.
Yeah, you probably, Emma Berg's 12.94. Also, you've got a 12.75 Limburg. So you've got a few of the multi-eventers, including Celeste Mucci, the Commonwealth Games multi-eventer. So, this is a good comp here for Celeste to be doing. And then you've got your traditional shot putters, and Mendez is one of those, and also Werner.
So it looks like we're heading down to our next presentation very shortly. So just as Robert Van Dongen completes his 5,000 metre walk, our next presentation are getting set. And we welcome our Master of Ceremonies this evening for the very first time, Mr. Ross Cunningham, General Manager of Competitions and Government. So let's head to the next presentation.
Thanks again. Presentation now for the women's under-17 hammer throw, and receiving the bronze medal with a throw of 32 metres 17 from Whittlesea, Vanessa Limikowski. And receiving the silver medal with a throw of 38 metres from Casey Cardinia, Jennifer McDonald. And receiving the invitational gold medal with a throw of 44 metres 55 from Western Australia, Alicia Wooden. And our gold medalist with a throw of 39 metres 99 from Ringwood Athletic Club, Gemma Johansson. So a big hand there for Elisa, for Gemma, Jennifer and Vanessa in the under-17 women's hammer throw. So next up, presentation for the women's under-18 hammer, and receiving the bronze medal, the throw of 44 metres 87 from Wyndham Track and Field, Alisa Maleko. And receiving the silver medal, with a throw of 45 metres 04 from Western Athletics, Rebecca Sutton. And our gold medalist with a throw of 59 metres 45, also from Western Athletics, Alia Kanipa. So big congratulations there to Alia, to Rebecca and Elisa in the under-18 women's hammer throw.
So white flag up once again in the shot put competition. The next event on the track will be the 3,000 metre combined walk. We will introduce the field shortly. So we now do have the combined 3,000 metre walk event. In the under-14 women, we have three competitors. In Station 1 from Ballerine, it's Rihanna Tatlock. Station 2 from Knox Athletic Club, Emily Smith. In Station 3, also from Knox, Darcy Roberts. In the men's under-14 competition, we have 5 starters. In Station 4 from Collingwood Harriers, Marcus Wakim. Station 5 from Knox, it's Liam Hutchins. Station 6, also from Knox, Luke Epps. Station 7 from Box Hill, Zachary Matters. And Station 8 from St Kevin's, Joel Imbriano. In event number 5, it's the men's under-16 walk. There are 2 starters. From Ballarat YCW, it's Fraser Saunder in Station 9. And in Station 10 from Athletics Chilwell, it's Owen Costin. In event number 6, the men's under-15 3,000 metre walk, we have 2 starters. Station 11 from Doncaster, Liam McLennan. And in Station 12 from Mentone, Nikita Georgievic. And in event 7, the women's under-16 3,000 metres, we have 1 starter from Casey Cardinia, Brianna Briette. So there are starters, 13 of them in the combined 3,000 metre walk for junior men and women.
So Tim, just confirming, the competition director got the thumbs up for the track referee.
Oh,
so you have just called your first Australian record, an Australian all-comers record.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
That is, well, it's exciting for Perseus Karlstrom, isn't it? It's, he just looked good, and just calling those splits, how consistent was he? Had a bit of a fall away, I think, on kilometre number 4, but gee, he brought it home strong in that last K, Glenn. He exceeded what I thought he was going to do by about 10 seconds.
Look, it's a wonderful way to start the program. It's such a shame that Nick Wall's not here to call it with you.
Such a shame, isn't it? But I was just in another one of the rooms up here and mentioned the time, and there was a little bit of a look of bewilderment. And Lockie Barber, one of our 800-metre runners later, said, "I think he's just got my 5K PB." So it shows
he was absolutely motoring, and it is his 7th national record as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you were getting a bit excited there, and I think you gave him 8 for a while, Glenn. But yeah, 7th national record. Great to see him cooling down here with Jemima Montag. 2 very, very good international performers on the walk stage. Go to stadium. So competitors underway now in this combined 3,000 metre walk. Good field here, Glenn. Some great young names. And we'll just try and work them out as they get around, but it's definitely Fraser Saunder there. Off to a very good start in this event. So 14:34 is the best 3K time by Saunder. Others to look out for will be Epps from Knox. The Chilwell walker there, that's Owen Costin. He's got a 16:08. And I think that's the Casey Cardinia walker there in the female events, and that's Brianna Briette. Not far behind her is Rihanna Tatlock from Ballerine in the red. So we did see the crossing of the arms before, Glenn, when a few of our 5,000 metre walkers finished. What that represents is resistance to change at international level to the 50K walk event being dropped from the Olympic and World Championship program after 2021. So it has been recommended by the International Walks Commission to the IAAF that the 50K actually be replaced with a 30 and the 20K be replaced by a 10. Now walkers across the world are not terribly happy with this, and then when you do see the crossing of the arms, that's their sign of resistance. They're still lobbying for that call to be changed. And there's a lot of politicking being done in Australia, led by some of our great walkers here, including Tim Erickson, to have that decision reversed. But back out onto the field at the moment, on the track, and it's Saunder leading. Costin's in 2nd position. And try and pick up our 3rd place walker. Gee, the girls are all bunched together. And have we got the Knox walker there, potentially the young Knox? That's Darcy Roberts coming through in next position. Now Darcy's a very interesting story. She goes to Billanook. Plenty of golds in race walking across Australia. And Darcy's got a 15:44 best time, but gee, it's a real bunch of them there. Probably about 30 metres back off Costin. So we'll get the glasses on him. So Zachary Matters in next position, Luke Epps, and then Joel Imbriano. We've then got Joaquim from Collingwood. Then the first of our girls is Darcy Roberts, just ahead of Briette. So 3,000 PB for Roberts is 15:44. And gee, they're starting to really bunch up there, as we see though out front and Saunder leading the way.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the presentation for the Women's Open 5,000 metre walk championship of Victoria. In 3rd place and bronze medalist today in a time of 24:05.11, representing the Sandringham Athletic Club, Philippa Hughes. In 2nd place and silver medalist in a time of 23:54.79, representing Ballarat YCW, Alana Pert. And in 1st place and gold medalist today in a time of 21:53.02, representing Melbourne University, Jemima Montag. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate our medalists in the Women's 5,000 metre race walk championship of Victoria.
So just coming up now to the 1K. There's a 4:37 unofficial there for Saunder as he goes through. It's 1K into the 3K journey. 5 laps to go here. And quite a bit of interest as we look down past Costin. So Fraser, Saunder and Costin in the same age group. That's 1-2. Then we look at the next age group and there's 3 young men together there, Glenn. That's Matters, Epps and Imbriano. And then a bit of a gap to Joachim, who's 4th in that age group. Then it's McLennan. He's in the under 15s. And then we've got the girls. Darcy Roberts leading the under 14s, Brianna Burett. And then in second in the under 14s at the moment, Rihanna Tatlock. They're all going through the 1 kilometre mark. In next position there, that's Liam Hutchins. And then Emily Smith, also from Knox. And then Georgievic, the second of our under 15 men's walkers, just going through now. So 200 metres separating the whole field here. So not strung out dramatically. And we can see the results up on the board now of the women's event. So enticing battle with that men's under 14. And we just see Zach Matters from Box Hill just getting a little bit of a stretch ahead of Imbriano. And Epps right behind him. Gap then to Joachim as Fraser Saunder comes down and he'll get 4 laps to go. So another interesting little note about Darcy Roberts, she was actually injured at the National Cross Country last year at Mullaney on that rather brutal course up in Queensland, and she's only just got back into training recently. Fran Attard looking after her perfectly. So many of the Knox athletes here coached by Fran, and great to see the walks community at the Knox Club alive and well, as we see Epps moving into that second position now in the under 14s, just ahead of Imbriano. Joachim coming in nicely. McLennan next on the track there, the Doncaster walker. But it's Zach Matters currently leading, but Epps made a big move there to go ahead of Imbriano, 4 laps out.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the medal presentation for the men's 5,000 metre walk championship of Victoria. In third place and a bronze medalist today in a time of 22:50.17, representing the Corio Athletic Club. Please welcome Daniel Walters. In second place and silver medalist in a time of 22:44.85, representing Athletics Essendon, is Christopher Eriksson. In first place and Victorian champion in a time of 19:59.17, representing Glen Hunley Athletic Club, Ridian Cowling. And ladies and gentlemen, we acknowledge the performance of our winner of the men's 5,000 metre race walk in a new Australian record, an all-comers record time of 18:32.56 from Sweden, Perseus Karlström. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate our medalists in the men's 5,000 metre race walk final.
So Fraser Saunder going through 3 laps to go. Next to hit that mark will be Costin from Athletics Chilwell. And gee, that battle in the under 14s is certainly hotting up. Imbriano sort of dropped off the pace now, and Joachim's come through into third, but it's Epps and also Matters, basically side by side as they're coming through, and they'll also be getting 3 laps to go. So Epps now starting to make a bit of a move and getting distance on Matters, the early leader. So 3 to go for the under-14s. And 1, 2, 3, 4 of them all lined up in a row. Then McLennan, the under-15 men's representative from Doncaster, currently leading that age group. And we're seeing Brianna Priet from the under-16 comp, Casey Cadinia, she's leading that. And then it is Darcy Roberts from Knox, currently leading the under-14 women's. Tatlock perhaps 20 metres behind her. And there's Liam Hutchins from Knox in the next position in the 14s. And then Emily Smith from Knox, she rounds out the women's under-14 competition, coming through to get 3 laps to go. So Fraser Saunder now getting the 2 laps to go in the famous Ballarat YCW uniform, famous amongst the Walks community, home club of the Talent family. And now the Piat family. So some great walkers coming out of Ballarat. Fraser Saunder, he's got about a 150 metre break now over Coston. As you see the times up there for the men, so Ridian just under the 20-minute mark, but 18:32.56, the fastest ever walk over 5,000 metres on Australian soil. So we'll endeavour to get some updates from the field in the open women's shot put competition.
I've seen better bells on cows, mate.
Yeah. Anything a wing.
50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58. Hamish, I wouldn't be putting it on your CV, mate.
No. If I was, it'd be right down the bottom.
In the fine print.
Yeah, yeah. Bell for all these?
So as you see, Fraser Saunder down the back straight now for the last time. Just trying to give an update now from the women's shot put in the open event. It looks like 13.78 might be our lead throw, and that's from Emma Berg from South Bendigo. And Emma in the ring at the moment. So that was her final throw, round 6. So 13.78 leads the competition. Looks like 11.92 from Limburg might be sitting in second, and 11.82 from Mendez currently. Oh, sorry, 12.16 from Mendez. I think that has her in the silver medal at the moment. But 13.78. Last throw there, 13.15. As we get behind Fraser Saunders, coming down to win or take out the under 16 competition here in the 3,000 metre walk. So time check about 14:30, just under. So good walking there for Saunder. We look down the track and it'll be Costin the next one in. So best 13:78. Emma Berg leading the shot put competition. And that will take out the competition. As we said, it looks like it might be the 12:16 there of Mendez in silver. And 11:92 for Limburg. That will be bronze medal position in the open women's shot put competition here this evening. As we see Costin and also Epps. What a walk here from Epps. He's come from nowhere, and it looks like Joaquim from Collingwood's come through for the silver at this stage in the 3,000 metre walk. As we see Owen Costin from Chilwell second in the under 16, then the under 14 walkers. It's Epps, Joaquim, Matters in next position. So Joaquim sat very patiently for a long time there, but if it's given a clear round here, Joaquim from Collingwood, that's Marcus, will be taking the silver medal in the competition. So early leader here, Zachary Matters from Box Hill, next to finish. And then Brianna Briett from Casey Cadinia, and also it is Liam McLennan from Doncaster coming down together. And they'll be the next ones through here, and then waiting for the judges' decision in this competition. So just over 16:30 there for these two. Briette, McLennan, and then it is Darcy Roberts currently leading the under 14 competition. So she's coming through now in a time of just under 16:50, 16:47. She's done the big X. Yep, well done there, Darcy. And we've got Hutchins and also Imbriano. And next one through, Rihanna Tatlock from Ballerine. And a tight finish here, Emily Smith from Knox will be next of the under 14s through. So Nikita Georgievic in screen now. He'll be the final competitor coming through. And the second of our under 15 men's 3,000 metre walkers. So as we see Nikita cross the line now, that's the wrap up for the walks action. A very exciting evening here at Lakeside Stadium in both the 3,000 metres and not forgetting that 5,000 metre walk where we had Perseus Karlström from Sweden, 18:32.56, the fastest ever 5,000 metre walk on Australian soil. So that's a wrap of the walk. Steeplechase will be up next, and that'll be the men's championship first. We've had a wrap in the women's open shot put event with 13:78 appearing to be the lead throw there from Emma Berg from South Bendigo. So presentations will be taking place shortly for those events. As we see our steeplechasers now starting to warm up over the barriers, the 3,000 metre men's steeplechase will be next event on the track. So unfortunately, a couple of big names out of the steeple tonight. As we look over to the men's shot put competition, we've got the open men about to come out and start competition fairly soon. But yeah, with the steeplechase, unfortunately, we've lost both Buckingham, the defending champion, and also Matthew Clark, who had a breakthrough performance in Sydney last month. So you can see Russell Short coming into the ring at the moment, multi-Paralympian from Glen Huntly, been around for a long time. And great to see Russell still out there competing. Vision impaired, competing for the Glen Huntly club. It's got a PB of 14.51. Shane Carstairs, next one to step in for a practice throw. Regular competitor here. Carstairs is best of 16.38. Came third last year in the competition, but second in the Victorian Championship to add to his swag of championship medals he's collected over the years. Oliver de Courtenay, Geelong Guild. So conditions once again not too bad here. Air temperatures just starting to drop a little bit. Hence you'll see a few of the guys in their long sleeves, a little as opposed to last weekend with the heat wave. Bit of a breeze around. Nothing too substantial though, and probably coming down the home straight, bit of a southerly.
It has, it's a bit
Colin Newman now in the ring.
You might need help to get back up again.
yeah. It's just old fellas like us.
Maybe should help you.
Yeah. It's too far down.
Well, I'm glad that
So Matthew Cowie now representing Old Melburnians, won this event last year as an interstater. So this time we'll be going for the Victorian title. So 17.91 the winning throw last year from Cowie.
Daniel Walters, the bloke in this sport, caught him from the fairway back. But I think he expended all his catching.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was hard. It was just hard. I was destroyed at the end of the weekend. So,
You go over to the other one, we'll do this one. Craig, you won't know, we'll do this one here. Bob, you go do the other one.
This on straight away.
Yep.
So Declan Carman from Doncaster just having his warm-up throw. Saw him perform so well last weekend in the discus where he led the competition until about round 4 before Nick Dyson from Ringwood propelled himself into the lead to take that championship out. But the young thrower there, Carman, certainly getting out some big distances this year in the 2018-19 season, and certainly one to watch out for. So as we mentioned, a few of the big names, Buckingham and also Clark, out of this 3,000 metre steeplechase for men. Bit of a shame because they were two of the big names behind Max Stevens of South Australia in the Sydney 3,000 metre steeple. Clark recording a PB of about 20 seconds or more, so absolutely chunked that one. So Riley Shaw potentially now our favourite. James Coleman also there, and Toby O'Brien there, maybe the three to look out for. But also the Tasmanian Harvey Chilcott, not to be forgotten.
Sorry, boys.
Just watch for the hard jump and have a chance to hard jump.
Oh, okay.
So next event on the track is the 69th running of the Victorian 3,000 metre steeplechase for men. We have 8 starters. In Station 1, representing Melbourne University, Riley Shaw. In Station 2, from St Stephen's Harriers, James Coleman. Station 3, from Keilor St Bernard's, Alexander Sykes. In Station 4, from the Doncaster Athletic Club, Hamish Lazaro. Station 5, we welcome from Tasmania, Harvey Chilcott. In Station 6, from the Frankston Athletic Club, Jesse Dunsmore. In Station 7, representing Athletics Essendon, Toby O'Brien. And in Station 8, from Wodonga Athletic Club, Ryan Blackwell. 8 starters in the final of the men's Victorian 3,000 metre steeplechase. So as mentioned, Riley Shaw perhaps the favourite for this one, but also Coleman one to watch for. So clean start here as they approach the first barrier. It's O'Brien to the outside, Shaw to the inside. Also on the rail there is Coleman, our top 3 picks, followed by Chilcott, the Tasmanian. So defending champion is Ben Buckingham. Won last year in a time of 9:02.80. Unfortunately, Ben is not here tonight, hopefully watching on the live stream. Championship record, 8:25.80, was set by Sean Crichton from Ballarat YCW in... Sorry, I haven't got a year on that one, but the most wins is shared by Bob Hendy from Collingwood Harriers and also Peter Larkins from Box Hill. They both won 6 of these championship events. So we will have a new champion tonight. None of these gentlemen have won this title before. And it is the top 3 as expected in Shaw, O'Brien, Coleman, then Dunsmore and Chilcott, Lazaro, Sykes and Blackwell. That's the order as they settle down now in this 3,000 metre journey. 35 barriers, including 7 water jumps. So a steady line now of athletes as they enter into their second lap here in the 3,000 metre steeplechase. A little bit of wind gusting around the stadium. Air temperature not too bad. Certainly not the heat wave of weekend 1. As the lead three have a gap of about 10 metres over Dunsmore and Chilcott. It's Shaw, Coleman, O'Brien, approaching water jump number 2. So the first 5 through and looking good. Nice clearances through the water. Not much separating this lead 3. All vying for their first Steeplechase Championship here of Victoria. As we see Shaw just surge through that barrier. Coleman having to make up distance on the ground. As Riley Shaw hits 5 laps to go. The Melbourne University colours, they're currently leading the HH Hunter Shield. Would have got good points there in the walk, courtesy of Jemima Montag. Hamish Beaumont is smiling. So the pace is on here from Shaw. The question now being asked of O'Brien, can he hang on to the back of Coleman? He makes that little surge, doesn't want to lose too much distance in these early laps, as Coleman is sticking like glue to the back of Riley Shaw as they approach water jump number 3. So Shaw, Coleman, O'Brien cleanly over. Dunsmore in next position. Chilcott, Sykes, Lazaro and Blackwell. So James Coleman working pretty hard here to keep on the back of Riley Shaw, who looks nicely in control of events. O'Brien just drifting about 5 metres back now as they get 4 laps to go. Chilcott making a move on Dunsmore. Sykes still lurking. Then we've got Lazaro and Blackwell. So nice clearance there from Chilcott. O'Brien not losing any distance at the moment. Probably not quite as smooth over the barriers. And perhaps each barrier we're just seeing that metre go back each time for Toby O'Brien. As we see the smoothness of Riley Shaw just straight over. Coleman also looking fairly good. Up and over for O'Brien. So Riley Shaw's coming through. He'll be looking at 3 laps to go.
Riley, time to go to work, Riley.
Coleman's still in second position. So Shaw, best time 8:44.31. Coleman's an 8:59 runner. 9:04 for O'Brien. They're our top 3 and they're our 3 favourites. We see Dunsmore taking over that 4th position just ahead of Chilcott. But it looks like O'Brien now drifting about 15 to 20 metres back. So it could be a race in 2 as Coleman's doing everything he can to stay in touch with Riley Shaw. Shaw still perfect over those barriers. Very clean, very smooth. 20 metres then to O'Brien. Another 60 metres back to Dunsmore, Chilcott and also Sykes. So approaching the water jump here is Shaw and Coleman.
So ladies and gentlemen, just a special announcement for all of the open women shot putters. The Open Women's Shot Put competition will be rerun at 7:30 in conjunction with the Women's Under-17 Shot Put. So for all of our female shot putters, if you are still in the venue, the Women's Open Shot Put will be rerun at 7:30 in conjunction with the Under-17 Women's Shot Put.
Thanks, Glenn. And we get 2 laps to go. Riley Shaw now got a gap of about 7 to 8 metres over James Coleman. Another 25 back to O'Brien. Another 50 back, and Sykes has moved into that next position, the young man from Keolis and Bernards. So it looks like Shaw's starting to establish a bit of a winning break now. He's now up by 10 metres over Coleman. The gap to O'Brien also drifting, but he's got a big lead over the next position, which is Sykes, as we go in with about 600 metres to go. So Riley Shaw looking good through the water jump. James Coleman as well. O'Brien through cleanly again with those big legs. They're all still looking strong as they come through to get the bell. It's Shaw's race to lose as they come through with about 430 to go. Coleman trying desperately to get back onto the back of Riley Shaw, but Shaw's got one lap to go as the bell rings. Shaw goes through. Coleman's 10 metres back still, not losing ground. O'Brien coming through now. He's got about a 30-metre gap to make up on Coleman, but he's still safe in that bronze medal position. So Coleman's still surging and trying to get back onto Shaw. Shaw cleanly over the barrier, the first barrier of the back straight. So a good run down the back straight now, and you'll sight Blackwell as someone to aim for as they move beautifully down that back straight. Riley Shaw leading. Time check's about 11:12 now. It'll be a good time without being a sparkling time. They should get them under the 9-minute mark tonight. So it's Riley Shaw leading it from James Coleman. A bit of an oops from there from O'Brien. He's getting tired, but he's still safely in third position. Last water jump for Shaw. He's through smoothly. Now got a gap of about 20 metres over Coleman as he rounds out into the home straight for the last time. So this will be his first Open Championship here in the Steeplechase. He's won the 15 before, but it's going to be a Steeplechase Championship here. Riley Shaw will take it out. Melbourne University get maximum points here. James Coleman for St Stephen's. He'll hang on to second, so 8:56, the unofficial time. Coleman should get under the 9 minutes. O'Brien will be close to that PB of his of 9:04, right under it, just on there, I'd say. And it looks like Sykes might be in the next position for Keilor St Bernard's. So Chilcott finishing nicely. He's got a best of 9:20. Probably won't get that tonight, but this should be a big breakthrough performance, I think, for Sykes. So 9:36 is the best I've got for Sykes. He's come through in 9:24. That's a good run. Chilcott next. Dunsmore will come through next for Frankston. And then we have Lazaro and also Blackwell. So it probably went pretty much to plan there. Shaw controlled the pace the whole way. Coleman did what he could, but just didn't have the strength over those last 2 to 3 laps where Shaw just really switched it on and looked really good over the barriers too, Riley Shaw. So it was very, very nice hurdling and also running between the hurdles for Riley Shaw that saw him win. So good run for Coleman. We'll wait for the official times. Would have been round about the 9-minute mark for him. And then Toby O'Brien. So probably the status as we thought with Shaw, Coleman, O'Brien, but a good run from Sykes. Maybe one to watch out for.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the next medal presentation will be for the under-14 girls 3,000 metre walk. In third place and bronze medalist today in a time of 17 minutes 10.87, representing the Knox Athletic Club, Emily Smith. In second place and silver medalist in a time of 17:01.60, representing the Bellarine Athletics Track and Field Club, Rihanna Tatlock. And in first place and gold medalist in a time of 16:47.76, representing Knox Athletic Club, Darcy Roberts. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate our medalists in the girls under 14 3,000 metre walk. Ladies and gentlemen, the next medal presentation is for the under-14 boys 3,000 metre walk. In third place and bronze medalist in a time of 16:09.55, representing the Box Hill Athletic Club, Zachary Matters. In second place and silver medalist in a time of 15:49.00, representing the Collingwood Harriers Athletic Club, Marcus Wakim. And in first place and gold medalist today in a time of 15:33.91, representing the Knox Athletic Club, Luke Epps. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate our medalists in the under 14 boys 3,000 metres. Next medal presentation will be for the men's under 16 3,000 metre race walk. In second place and silver medalist today in a time of 15:32.71. Just repeating, 15 minutes 32.71, representing Athletics Chilwell, Owen Costin. In first place and gold medalist today in a time of 14:24.88, representing the Ballarat YCW Harriers Athletic Club, Fraser Saunder. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate our medalists in the men's under 16 3,000 metre walk. Next medal presentation will be for the under 15 boys 3,000 metre race walk. In second place and silver medalist in time of 18:2.10, representing the Mentone Athletic Club, Nikita Georgievic. In first place and gold medalist today in a time of 16:35.32, representing the Doncaster Athletic Club, Liam McLennan. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate our medalists in the boys under 15 3,000 metre walk. Ladies and gentlemen, our final presentation for our 3,000 metre walks is for the under 16 girls age group. Ladies and gentlemen, in first place and gold medalist today in a time of 16:35.19, representing Casey Cardinia, Brianna Briette. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate our gold medalists in the under 16 girls 3,000 metre walk.
So over in the shot put at the moment, we have the commencement of the men's open competition. This is the 120th Championship of Victoria. Victorian record held by Damien Birkenhead, 21:35, set in 2017. Championship record also by Birkenhead, 20:68, set in 2017 by the Corio athlete. Our 2018 winner is Matthew Cowie with a best of 17:91. He's out there this afternoon. And the Victorian champion, Matthew was an interstater. The Victorian champion, Todd Hodgetts, in 2018 with a best of 15:14. And our field is Declan Carman, Shane Carstairs, Harvey Connor, Bailey Cooper, Oliver Courtney, Matthew Cowie, Todd Hodgetts, Colin Newman, Christian Painter, Joshua Plant and Russell Short. So they're the competitors in the 120th staging of the men's open shot put competition. Next track event underway will be the open women's 3,000 metre steeple. So the women's steeple now on the line, as we're seeing a bit more action there for the men's shot. That's Toddy Hodgetts, red flag there unfortunately. And we now move to the steeplechase. Charlotte Wilson, defending champion, she'll be going for 3 in a row in this championship. She's the standout performer, best of 9:55, that's more than a minute ahead of anyone else in the field. in reasonable shape at the moment, probably not in career best form, so I don't anticipate we'll get a sub 10-minute performance. Probably next best favourite will be Simone Brick. She's got a sub 11, probably the only other sub 11 in the field at the moment. So last year, Wilson won this event in 10:18. Maxine Palek, 10:21, was in second. Sarah McSweeney, 10:45 in third. And Brick, 10:58.81 in fourth. Palek's now at the University of Idaho. As we'll get this event started very shortly. So next event on the track is the 22nd running of the Victorian 3,000 metre steeplechase for women. Victorian record holder is Genevieve Lacaze with 9:14.28. Championship record is 9:39.11 set by Donna McFarlane in 2006. And the championship record for a Victorian 10:09.53 set in 2002 by Victoria Mitchell, who also has the most number of wins with 4. Defending champion with a time of 10:18.79 is Charlotte Wilson from Athletics Essendon. And our field is in Station 1, representing Athletics Chilwell, Cassie Deege. In Station 2, our defending champion from Athletics Essendon, Charlotte Wilson. In Station 3, from Melbourne University, Ruby Turner. Station 4, we welcome from South Australia, Annabelle Kitto. In Station 5, from Yarra Ranges, Olivia Twining. And in Station 6, representing South Melbourne, Simone Brick. 6 starters in the final of the Women's Open 3,000 metre steeplechase. So as we see the girls start, here, and it's Brick and Wilson out to the lead, and we will now throw down to a presentation.
Oh yeah, we'll actually grab one.
How you going, you man? You going okay in there?
Yeah, everything's...
Yeah, cool. Yeah. This is running pretty smoothly.
As we see Charlotte Wilson off to a good lead there. Brick and Kitto are chasing. We will now go to the presentations for the men's 3,000 metre state championship of Victoria. In third place, in a time of 9:03.93, representing Athletics Essendon, Toby O'Brien. And presentations are to be made by multiple Australian record holder Craig Mottram. In second place, and silver medalists in a time of 8:58.58, representing St Stephen's Harriers, James Coleman. And the gold medalist, a new Victorian champion in a time of 8:56.17, representing Melbourne University, Riley Shaw. So congratulations to the medalists there in the men's 3,000 metre steeplechase championship. As we look down and we see Charlotte Wilson already established about a 40-metre break over the field into lap 2 here of the women's event. Simone Brick, South Melbourne, in a second position. Annabelle Kitto in third. Then we drop back to Twining. And also Turner from Melbourne University, with Deege just coming to the outside of them. So Wilson through the water jump again, quite cleanly. We look back and we see Brick will be the next one approaching the water. So a little bit less fluid through the water jump, and then Kito looking good as she moves through the second of the water barriers. And Wilson coming down to face 5 laps to go in the 3,000 metre steeplechase for women. So 9:55 the PB for Charlotte Wilson. She is the standout performer in this field. 10:58 the PB for Brick. The South Melbourne runner currently in the silver medal position. She took 4th last year in this event. Wilson winning from Palek and also McSweeney. So Deej moving through into 4th position, as she tends to do down the running sections. So she hurdles that one. Twining, a lot more clean over in the next position, and then Turner. But the gap now extending to about 80 metres. So Wilson is just running away from this early stages here in this steeplechase. So approaching the next of the barriers, so the water jumps. So relatively cleanly through Charlotte Wilson. As we look at the technique of the others, then Wilson definitely has the best water jumping style. Very controlled as she goes through. As we see Brick approaching her next water jump. So that was a better jump from Brick. Bit of a smile on the face as she went through, knowing she'd nailed that one. That put a lot of gap then into Kito, who was gaining on each of those water barriers on the previous laps. So Wilson leading by 100 metres now, 4 laps to go. As you said, she's got a best of 9:55. She's won this 2 times before. She's going for the three-peat. Then she'll be 1 win short of Victoria's Mitchell's record of 4 individual wins in this event. So Brick also coming through to get 1 lap to go. Kito, the South Australian, in next position. Interesting battle for the next place as we see Twining and also Turner hurdling. Deej having to put her hands over the barrier each time. So Deej with the superior leg speed, but without the hurdling technique of the other two, which is creating this cat and mouse game as they go through lap after lap. So as we see Wilson over again, that one a little less clean than the previous ones, but still with a commanding lead in this event. And just to call out for our women's open shot put competitors, you are required back at the event site at 7:35. So 7:35 for our women open shot putters back at the event site. So 3 to go, Charlotte Wilson, Athletics Essendon, Simone Brick through the water once again, putting a distance now on Annabelle Kito. So Kito's best, I think it's around the 11-minute mark, 11:49. As we see Wilson striding out beautifully to head towards the back straight. And a little bit of a gap now with the competitors who are seeing Twining and also Turner starting to run away from Deej. So 3 to go for Brick. Kito coming down, 3 to go. Gap now of about 35 metres to Brick. Looking 50 metres down the track then, and it's Twining and also Turner. They're vying for the bronze medal now in the Victorian Championship, with Kito being the interstater. So Wilson approaching the water jump. She'll be coming down to get 2 laps to go. The gap now of about 160 metres over Brick. Another 50 metres back to Kito. So just another call out for the Open Women's Shot Put competition. Please report to the event site at 7:35, so that is in 5 minutes' time. Open Women's Shot Put to the event site at 7:35. As we see Simone Brick coming down, 2 laps to go. So Quito, best of 11:49. She's coming down also to get 2 laps to go. As we see Charlotte Wilson approaching her second last water jump, and not so clean on that one, having to pull up, but a big lead of 200 metres at the moment. As we see Turner and also Twining coming through, 2 laps to go, and that's the battle for the bronze medal.
Go to work, Ricky, go to work.
So Charlotte Wilson over the barrier. She'll come through to get 1 lap to go on her last lap here. This will be 3 championship wins for Charlotte Wilson. So the bell rings. Wilson, 9:08. So we're probably looking at a winning time around the 10:25, 10:30 mark at the moment. As we see Simone Brick down the stretch, approaching 100 metres to go to get that bell. So Wilson into the back straight now. She's got lap runners as her potential target to drive her through on this final stage of this 3,000 metre journey. And Simone Brick, she'll be coming through now to get the lap, the bell here for her first championship medal of Victoria. So Twining's just made a bit of a break on Turner, and that's the battle for the bronze medal. As we see Charlotte Wilson up and over that one a little bit better than the previous lap. So Wilson now rounding the bend. She'll be coming down to take victory here in this women's open 3,000 metres. Her 3rd victory in a row. So Charlotte Wilson safely over the last barrier. Let's get behind our Victorian champion. 3 in a row for Wilson. I believe that's not been done before. So 3rd historic victory here. Charlotte Wilson takes it out. 10:39.49 unofficial. As we look down the track, and 200 metres out is Simone Brick from South Melbourne. 1 more water jump for Simone. As we see her approach the jump, safely up and over, and 1 more barrier for Simone Brick between her and the silver medal in the Victorian Championship here. So Brick clears the barrier.
Everyone's done.
So straight run home. Quito's in the water jump for the last time. She's in 3rd position. The invitation medal there will go to her. As we look down the battle for that bronze medal for the Victorian Championships, as Brick will stop the clock at about 11:30, just under, and Quito now approaching her final barrier. So Quito safely over, and it looks like Twining from the Yarra Rangers. She'll take that 3rd position in the Victorian Championship. Just 1 barrier between her now and that bronze medal, and she's safely over. So Olivia Twining and Ruby Turner, great battle for that position. As we see them come across the line. So Twining will take it just over the 12-minute mark for her. And then we'll throw down to presentations with Ross Cunningham.
Thanks, Tim. Presentation now for the under-20 women's long jump, and receiving the bronze medal with a jump of 5 metres 59 from Box Hill Athletic Club, Becky Lim. And receiving the silver medal with a jump of 5 metres 67 from Glen Huntley, Alana Porter. And receiving the gold medal with a jump of 5 metres 83 from Athletics Essendon, Montana Tishenko. So congratulations to Montana, to Alana and Becky in the under-20 women's long jump.
So Glenn, what's happening not only on the track and on the field, but also outside of it as well. You've got a bit of an update on our record claim.
Well, we do. There's a couple of things that have caught us. So Perseus broke the Australian all-comers record. I've just run round and spoken to the track referee, the chief photo finish judge, our walks judge. We've had that certified, which is fantastic. Now, we also broke a Swedish record, and under the Swedish Athletic Federation rules, he is required to provide a doping sample within 24 hours in order to claim that record. Now, unfortunately, at the Victorian State Track and Field Championships, we don't have doping facilities. However, last weekend, as you might recall, ASADA were here. And we don't know when ASADA will be coming or if they'll be coming on the weekend, although we have contacted the good friends in Queensland, and ASADA are up at their state championship. So if ASADA turn up tomorrow, then hopefully Perseus...
That's right. Well, hopefully we can do it all right.
Correct.
Yeah, we don't want him walking away from this championship without that record, just due to an administration function. But anyway, we'll obviously you'll keep us posted, or...
Well, we can get ASADA out here, as I mentioned earlier, and it's a $4,500 call-out fee.
Excellent. All right, just a bit of an update now from the shot put. And let's have a look. I'd say Cowie is leading the way with 16.66. In second position, looks like Carstairs has got a 15.44. And I reckon Shane might be currently in that silver medal position. So lots of action there. Looks like they've through the end of round 3, so they're now doing the reorder. And we are going to throw now to the 800 metres shortly.
Can you see the blocks over there? No, I can't see it.
So with the barriers now coming off the track, we turn our attention on the track side to the 800 metre heats for women. There will be 3 preliminary heats for women. Top 2 in each heat, plus the 2 next best times will proceed. So in heat number 1 of 3, the women's 800 metres, we have 9 starters. In Station 1 representing Nunawading, it's Ashley Shield. Station 2 from Athletics Essendon, Madison Caulfield. Station 3 from Doncaster, Connor Gist. Station 4 from Doncaster, Molly Blakey. Station 5 from Melbourne University, Katrina Anderson. Station 6 from Box Hill, Ellie Sanford. Station 7 from Athletics Essendon, Erin Rayner. Station 8 from Deakin Athletic Club, it's Isabel Girardi. And Station 9 from Chilwell, Justine White. So 9 starters, heat 1 of 3, women's open 800 metres.
It's got to be one of the 1500 line. Got to go that one.
No, it's up there.
Oh, it's up there? Yeah.
Whoa. That's the choice. Imagine you're over your start 1500 all of a sudden. It hits the upright and you duck.
So holding the yellow up there for the moment. Looks like they're not quite ready to go at the moment, Glenn. There's a few big names in this one, Sanford being one of those. Gist also up there.
Ladies, you'll be introduced.
Molly Blakey, she's about a 2:07 runner. Katrina Anderson has run a 2:03 and probably nominal favourite. We saw her in the 400 last week. She is also the Victorian Mile Champion back in 2018.
We have a special page for Celeste Mucci. If she could report back to the shot put. Celeste Mucci to the shot put, please.
On your mark.
So underway now in the first of our 3 heats for the 800 metres for women. So ones to watch out for: Katrina Anderson, Melbourne University; Ali Sanford just to the outside of her, Connor Gist and Molly Blakey, the Doncaster duo. They're in lanes 3 and 4 as they go through the split. So the top 4 favourites are all there at the moment. Erin Rayner trying hard to get on to the back of the pack. Gap then to Caulfield and also Garrardi. Then we have White and also Ashley Shield. So up front it's Anderson doing the leading. Got a best of 2:03. Sanford, big improver this season. So Alex Sanford moving along nicely. She's a 2:07 runner. Blakey also around the 2:07 mark. Rayner's done a good job to get up with Gist. Gist on the comeback trail and broke 2:10 recently at Melbourne University. So it is a race in 5 as they go through. Top 2 and next 2 to go through. So we want pace on, and 63 was the opening lap there for Anderson. Setting up around that 2:6, 2:7 range. Potentially if the girls can keep it nice and even over lap number 2. So Anderson leads from Sanford. Blakey starting to make a move. Gist, her teammate, going with her. Then a slight gap to Rayner. So into the back straight now, and it's Blakey looking like the one she wants to make a move, but Gist, her teammate's the one who charges past, knowing the top 2 is important in this race. So it's Anderson, Gist, Blakey. On the inside of her is Sanford and then Rayner. So Gist charging through and making Anderson have to work now. The top 2 important spots are up for grabs. Next 2 best times, so they've got to fight on over this last 120 metres. It's Anderson with Gist to the outside of her. Slight gap then to Sanford. Big run from Gist. She's on the comeback, and this could be a major blowover if she gets straight into this final. So Anderson just showing the power that wins her Victorian Championships, but Gist not done with yet, and a big gap now to Sanford. So top 2 will go through, and that's Anderson and Gist. Sanford possibly next, but Rayner finishing fast. 2:09.41. A good opening heat there. Shows what the other girls have to do now. That was good running. Sanford will now have to wait for time.
So if we could have our medalists in the open women's 3,000 metre steeplechase back to the podium near the finish line. The medal presentation will be conducted shortly.
So next event on the track, heat 2 of 3, the women's open 800 metres. In station 1, representing Athletics Chilwell, Heidi Demio. Station 2 from Melbourne University, Chi Ling Go. Station 3 from Box Hill, Marley Campton. Station 4 from Box Hill, Georgia Hanson. Station 5 from Melbourne University, Katrina Bissett. Station 6, also from Melbourne University, Sarah Billings. Station 7 from Maccabi, Shani Landon. Station 8 from Deakin, Rachel Waters. And Station 9 from Western Athletics, Lexi Alfieri. So 9 starters, heat 2 of 3, women's open 800 metres.
On your mark. Stand up. Be still when you come up to the line, ladies. On your mark.
So 2:09.41 winning time in heat number 1. Ones to watch out here, Bissett 2:03 this year and looking very strong. Also Hanson, our 1500 metre champion from last week, but it's Bissett who takes the lead and settles down. On the inside there, Demio, as we've seen so often, just holding that position on the inner rail and moving up onto the back of Bissett, who starts to slow the pace. So it's Bissett, Demio, Go from Melbourne University also out there. Landon deciding just to drift back through the field and waiting for a big second lap as we see Bissett just start to explode away from that bunch. So Katrina Bissett, the form runner in this field, probably have to watch out for a fast finishing Hansen. We saw her so strong over 15 last week, but also Landon, the mover there from the Maccabi Club. So Bissett not mucking around at all. We're going to see a time just over 60 seconds as they go through. So it'll be 61 high, maybe low 62. Demio, now Landon makes her move. 2 spots to go automatically into the final. Landon wants one of those. So it's Bissett, Landon, Demio. Then we've got Go. It looks like Hansen's now starting to make a bit of a move. And also you've got Billings to watch out for as well. She's run a 207.4 this year. So Billings starting to wind herself up. So Bissett looking good, Landon, then it's Billings coming into the picture, also Hansen, gap then to Demio. So Billings perhaps the one to watch here to get that auto spot. Landon's got a lot of work to do now, as you can feel Billings coming up behind her. Bissett still controlling all the pace out front. Landon and Billings, now the battle on. I don't think Hansen's going to come through into that top 2 position from there, but she may prove me wrong. Bissett's going to hold on safely, and it looks like Landon's going to go on with this. Billings just mounting a final charge, though, to Landon, but Bissett will take it. Pretty good opening time. Landon will hang on for second in the auto qualifier. Billings and also Hansen will have to wait. Then it's Campton, Demio, Go, Waters, and Alfie Airy. That'll round out the field, and I'll hand over to Glenn.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the next medal presentation will be for the Women's Open 3,000 metres steeplechase. In third place with the time of, and bronze medalist with the time of 12 minutes exactly .60, representing Yarra Rangers, Olivia Twining. Third place, we recognise the performance in a time of 11:49.92 from South Australia, Annabelle Quito. In second place and silver medalist in a time of 11:29.79, representing the South Melbourne Athletic Club, Simone Brick. And in first place and gold medalist today in a time of 10:39.44, representing Athletics Essendon, Charlotte Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate our medalist in the Women's Open 3,000 metre steeplechase championship of Victoria.
Heat 3 of 3, the Women's Open 800 metres. And in Station 1 from Mentone, it's Kelsey Vickery. Station 2 from Nunawading, Brigitte Humphrey. Station 3 from Western Athletics, Rochelle Kennedy. Station 4 from Deakin, Madeline Murray. Station 5 from South Melbourne, Gigi McEnany. In Station 6 from Geelong Guild, Clara Dess. Station 7 from Glen Huntley, it's Anna Saw. And Station 8 from Athletics Essendon, Lauren Connell. So 8 starters in the third heat of the Women's Open 800 metres.
On your marks.
So ones to watch here, Madeline Murray, she's having a fantastic season over the 1500 metres. So we see the Geelong runner from Deakin automatically going out early. Gigi McEnany to the outside of her. On the inside there, it's Rochelle Kennedy, also looking good. And also Clara Dess, the Geelong Guild runner, joining that pack. Gap then to Humphrey. As we see Murray going through around the 30-second mark through the 200. So the pace, yet again, it's around that 60, 61 mark as they establish themselves here, a lead bunch of 4. So it's Murray, McEnany, Dess, and also Kennedy. So we saw a good win before to Bissett in 2:07, Landon in 2:10. So they're indicative times. They're the auto qualifiers. 2:11 for Billings. So that's the sort of time you need to qualify for the final if you don't make it automatically. So 62 through. They're setting this up. McEnany's run a 2:08 this season. Murray's got a 2:06. The big surprise packet here at the moment is Dess, though. She's running well ahead of PB pace, I think, at the moment, Clara Dess. and Kennedy starting to move through, the former Australian World Junior representative. So the top four are unchallenged at the moment. There's a gap of about 25 metres to Humphrey, then another 10 to 15 metres back to Saw from Glen Huntley. And we're seeing Madeline Murray just doing it at will at the moment. Kennedy now moving into second position. McEnany making a move past Des and then starting to challenge Rochelle Kennedy. But once again, it's a bit of a street or a tearaway lead here to Madeline Murray. She's doing it at will, comes in for the last 100 metres to go, and she's got a gap of nearly 10 metres over McEnany. So can Gigi or can it be, actually it's Des now coming through, so I think Des might be the one to take the auto spot. Time check now about 2:05, so McEnany's got to work hard to get one of those non-auto qualifiers. 2:09, Des in next position, McEnany third, then Kennedy and Humphrey. Looks like Vickery will hold on for next position. So we're going to have to wait now for those times to come through for the auto qualifiers and also the non-auto next two to go through to that final of the women's open 800 metres. So into round 5 now of the shot put competition. Russell Short coming into the ring at the moment. So current leader, so Cowie's got a 16.66, so that should be leading the comp. Gee, Declan Carmen's not having a good series, 3 no throws and only a 13.13. Shane Carstairs got a best of 15.50 and that was in round 4. So I'd say Shane's probably in that silver medal position. You've also got Christian Painter up there with 13.93. So Courtney's just thrown 12.53. And now it's Declan Carmen. As I said, 13.13 is his best at the moment. Let's see if we can get the white flag and a good distance here from Declan Carmen. As I said, threw so well last week in the discus. Seems safe. White flag is up, so we will get a measure this time for Carmen. Let's see if he can improve on that 13.13. So 13.93 I reckon is the target for him because that's what Christian Painter's on, Glenn.
Yeah, Christian Painter, the decathlete. Not sure if you've done an update on the women's open shot put.
Oh, we've been calling it that they're going to do a rethrow.
Well, they are. Look, unfortunately, the EDM, the electronic distance measuring device, there are 2 checks and balances that happen, and the check at the beginning of the program did not equal the check at the end of the program. So in consultation with the comp director and also our field, we're rerunning that with the women's under 17.
Excellent. 14.13 there for Carmen. That's thrown him into second position.
And we're just about to head down, and Tim, you're going to do your stuff with the first of 3 heats in the men's 800 metres.
So next event on the track is the first of 3 preliminary heats of the men's 800 metres open. In heat number 1, we have 9 starters. In station 1, representing Athletics Waverley, former Victorian 800 metre champion James McInerney. In station 2, representing Eureka, Jordan Mayston. Station 3, from Frankston Athletic Club, Dylan Burrows. Station 4, we welcome from the Cook Islands, Alex Beddoes. Station 5, from Melbourne University, Matthew Scott. Station 6, from Doncaster, Lachlan Mann. Station 7, from Casey Cardinia, Lachlan Hurd. Station 8, from Keilor St Bernard's, Patrick Matthews. And Station 9, from Box Hill, Russell Clowes. So 9 starters, heat 1 of 3, men's open 800 metres.
So interesting now, Tim, no more semi-finals in the 800, so they're stacking 3 heats of 9.
Excellent, so just 2 rounds to get them through. One to watch here, Matthew Scott. Cleanly Wayne Scott from Melbourne University already clearing the path. So him, Lockie Mann, probably Beddoes, the record holder from Cook Islands.
Yeah, absolutely great to have him here. But leading out in front
is Matthew Scott.
And it's do or die. First 2 and the next fastest. Sorry, first 2 from each of the 3 heats. The next fastest 2 will proceed to a straight final. No more semis.
Yeah, it's just good to see Scott just getting clean air out there, and we've seen him dominant in 800 metre racing in Victoria this year. He rarely loses a race, and what he's doing here is he's just getting out and just asserting himself over the field. So chop 2 to go through. Lockie Mann currently sitting in that next position. Lachlan Hurd moving through nicely in the Casey Gardenia colours, followed by Beddoes in the white of the Cook Islands. Then it's Burrows and also Matthews. Gap then to Mayston, then McInerney and Close.
So 51.5 for the first lap or thereabouts. So some good running out in front. So there's about 45, 50 metres between our leader Scott and Lachlan Mann in second. It was 2 races within this race, but the battle pack are now moving for that vital and automatic second position.
So Scott is just doing it his own way at the moment. So this is unusual because he usually just does a sit and kick, but he's just gone for it from the start. So Scott leads from Mann. Beddoes perhaps the one to make the charge. Hurd just drifting back a little bit, and then it's Burrows from Frankston.
Yeah, Hurd's running well. He's got to hold on. Sorry, Lachlan Mann's running well. He's got to hold on to that position. He may be challenged in the last stages, but out in front. Good run from Matt Scott.
It's very unusual to see such a fast time. It would be just over the 150, but not much. Lockie Mann will go through automatically. Beddoes will have to wait on time. Then it's Burrows, Hurd, Matthews. And now let's go to a presentation with Ross Cunningham.
Thanks, Tim. Presentation now for the under-17 men's hammer, and receiving the bronze medal with a throw of 41 metres 67 from Wendouree Athletic Club, Lachlan Hawkes. And receiving the silver medal with a throw of 43 metres 12 from Ringwood Athletic Club, Evan Sheedy. And our gold medalist with a throw of 44 metres 19 also from Ringwood Athletic Club, Rowan Swanevelder. So congratulations to all men there in the under-17 men's hammer throw.
So impressive running. We're just waiting for the time for Matty Scott. But
that was good, Glenn.
Yep.
You very rarely see that in heats. It's usually cat and mouse games, but Scott just backed himself in. He's been running so well over 800 this season that I'm actually not totally surprised he did that. And in many ways, he might be playing mental games too. He's saying, God, I'm in good condition, so just you're going to have to really run me down. So yeah, really, really impressive. And let's see what they can produce now in this third of these heats.
And we head back to Ross Cunningham.
Thanks, Glenn. Presentation now for the men's under-18 hammer throw, and receiving the bronze medal with a throw of 53 metres 14 from Diamond Valley, Calvin Meaden. And receiving the silver medal with a throw of 54.97 from Diamond Valley, Harrison Fell. And our gold medalist with a throw of 63 metres 19 from Ringwood Athletic Club, Benjamin Vood. So big congratulations to Benjamin, to Harrison and Calvin in the men's under-18 hammer throw.
We're now moving to heat number 2 of the men's the men's 800 metre open. And we have 8 starters. In Station 2, representing Eureka, Dean Ryan. In Station 3, from Doncaster, Alistair Christie. Station 4, from Queensland, we welcome Hayden Cobb. Station 5, from South Australia, we welcome Sam Russell. Station 6, from South Melbourne, Felix Lonergan. Station 7, from Box Hill, Andre Waring. Station 8, from Keilor St Bernard's, Dylan Vowles. And Station 9, from Williamstown, Nathan Crowley. So 8 starters, heat 2 of 3, men's open 800. So we're probably looking at the South Australian Russell, but also Lonergan will be right up this one. And also Andre Waring ran so well in the 1500.
What'd you get, Roman?
So good start there from the Queenslander Cobb. He's taking Russell, the South Australian, on his shoulder with him, but it is Cobb who's going to lead as they settle down. Felix Lonergan, the first of the Victorians. He's one to watch for. He's got a 150 time. We saw him go out with the pace at Milers Club spectacularly and not hold it, but this is a much more well-paced race as we see Hayden Cobb from Queensland leading, Glenn, and then it's the South Australian.
1:55.27 was the third place time in heat number 1, so that's what they're playing for the minor 2 placings. So 1:50.49 the official time for Matt Scott.
Okay, so it's Cobb. Waring's now making his move. As I said, ran really well in the 1500 final last week, led most of the way. As we see, Cobb really burning it out there. Russell now starting to wind himself up. Lonergan's going to have to go with him. Top 2, next 2 fastest. As Glenn said, 1:55 currently is that time.
Lonergan's probably got the South Melbourne athlete just doing enough, but he's got to stay in contact to the lead runners at this stage with 225.7 metres to go.
Yeah, a lot can happen over this last 200, and I think Felix and also Sam Russell might start to make a bit of a move on Cobb, who's done all the early leading. So Russell's starting to wind it up. Cobb's still looking pretty good, though. He's not done and dusted yet. He's winding it up beautifully into that last 100 metres, just showing signs of tightening, though, Glenn, as we see Russell and also Lonergan start to move through.
Yeah, as predicted, here comes Lonergan. The 3 doesn't go into 2, but maybe Cobb's done, but it's a good run from the young man from South Australia. Russell will take out heat number 2, Lonergan second. Cobb will finish for third, followed by Waring.
Cobb's a still good chance, though, for that final, Glenn. That was 1:52.99, I think, the winning time.
1:55.27 is the current third place time in heat number 1, so we will wait with anticipation as we see Shane Carstairs head back in to the shot put ring.
So great to see Shane competing once again, and he's got a best at the moment, 15:50 in round 4, and steps out on that one. The red flag has gone up on attempt 6, so that's what he'll finish on, 15:50 as a best, but could be in the medals, I think, Glenn, for this Victorian Championship.
Yeah, look, he's been a solid performer and also supporter of athletics in Victoria.
Some would say very solid.
I knew you were going to pick me up on that. But no, he's
an icon. We do love Shane, a real character, and has been in this system for a long time and always a great personality. So
just going to have a conversation on the results of the first heat. Just noticed that there may have been the result coming Alex Badeau, 1:53.50. So he's actually the third place time. But let me check with our competition director. Need to ask a question. I'll report straight back.
We now move to the final of our heats for the men's open 800 metres, and we have 9 starters. In Station 1 from St Kevin's, Dino Imbriano. Station 2 from St Stephen's, Timothy Gibney. Station 3 from Old Scotch, Harrison Carr. Station 4 from Mornington Peninsula, Jake Stevens. Station 5 from Chilwell, Grant Muir. Station 6 from Deakin, it's Lachlan Barber. Also from Deakin in 7, it is Jacob Reed. In 8 from Western Athletics, Matthew Tong. And in Station 9 from Athletics Essendon, James Rout. So 9 starters, heat 3 of 3, men's open 800 metres. Hard to go past Muir in this one, but you've got Barber on the comeback trail, also Reed and Stevens thereabouts, so it could be a very interesting race for that top 2. So Muir off to a good start, also already claiming a bit of a stagger there on Reed just to the outside of him, and Barber, sorry. So Stevens is the one who settles with Barber. Barber content just to sit back a little bit. Muir drifting into the slot. Carr in the red uniform. Just ahead of him is Reed from Deakin. So Stevens settles it down, 200 out. Probably went through in about 27-28, so reasonable pace without being super quick. Top 2 to go through, next 2 fastest times, and we're looking at a time around the 1:53, if that's correct, Glenn. So around 1:53 is what's going to get you into the final of the Victorian Championship if you don't make it on autos. And Jake Stevens with the traditional headband and the orange singlet of Mornington Peninsula, he leads through 56 seconds on the first lap. So it's not super quick. They're going to have to come home pretty quick here. A little bit of unsteadiness there from Barber too as he hit the plinth. So it is Muir starting to make his move, the Chilwell runner via Scotland. So Muir making his way out to the lead. Jake Stevens still in second position. Barber, then a gap to Reed and then Carr. So Muir looking good, Glenn. He's made a really nice move. Just striding away, the Anula Costa coached Grant Muir from Geelong. So Muir just going with it now. The interest will be in second position in auto qualifiers. It looks like Jake Stevens just might be tying up here, and Lockie Barber's coming over the top with Reed also coming at them. So Muir's got this in the bag. Barber's going to take that second position. I can't see much help happening from behind. Reed battling on beautifully. We're going to watch for time here. Gee, it's going to be close because I reckon that's third and fourth are around the 53, 54 mark, Glenn.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be interesting. Alex Bedeau, 153.50. Looks like he'll be pretty close to being one of those positions, but we will wait and see. Hayden Cobb, of course, from Queensland, 153.45. Dylan Burrows 155.27. So results from heat number 1 are upon the board. We'll just wait and see what happens after heat number 3 is officially judged.
It's never easy to make a Victorian 800 metre final, Glenn. I think the same will be in tonight. So Grant Muir, great running there. Established himself. Scott dominant in his heat. This is interesting.
Yeah, so interesting. I just went and had a look. Alex Bedeau's name was at the bottom of the pre-qualifying, 153.50. So
why was the dash against his name? Do we
so
know?
Only because he's an interstate athlete. The way Meet Manager works is that they'll put them at the bottom until all heats are run.
Yep.
And then
we have a limit on the interstaters, don't we?
Yes, but in this case it won't, because he's an interstate. He's from Cook Islands.
International.
And so when all the results are in, his time will still be counted, and then
he'll get thrown back into the ring
if he qualifies.
So we'll just throw down to presentations with Ross Cunningham.
And presentation now for the men's under 18 high jump. Receiving the bronze medal, the jump of 1 metre 80 from Frankston Athletic Club, Ronan Barrett. And receiving the silver medal with a jump of 1 metre 84, James Miller. And receiving the gold medal with a jump of 2 metres 9 from Melbourne University, Roman Astasios. So a big congratulations to Roman, to James, also to Ronan for the men's under 18 high jump, and medal presentations carried out by Nathan McConkey, Athletics Victoria's newly appointed competitions coordinator.
Says Corey Pendry in this rerun of the Women's Open due to that malfunction of the EDM. So Corey Pendry having a few little issues there with the shoulder. White flag up. So Emma Berg still leading this, as we see Mendez now getting ready to go into the ring. Mendez was a no throw in round 1. This is her second attempt. So white flag up there for Mendez, so she will get on the board with this one. So 13:39 currently the comp lead, and that's Emma Berg from round 1. As we see Lindbergh, the multi-eventer, warming herself up. 11:38 her opening attempt. So 11:84 there for Mendez. That's going to move her into second position. Ahead of Lindbergh, 11:38. So white flag. Body language not fantastic there from Rachel. Let's see if she can improve on that 11:38. So we see Emma Werner smiling. Knows the camera's on her. Yep, always knows the camera's there, Emma Werner. One of the characters of Victorian athletics. 11:74 there for Lindbergh, so that was an improvement, but still 10 centimetres shy of the 11:84 from Mendez. Werner, 10:25 first attempt. Shaking her head, not happy. White flag was up, so will be measured. So 9.92 for Emma Werner, so no, that's reason to be shaking her head there. So it looks like we're into the under-17 competitions now. So Abby Cripple was the previous athlete. We've now got Mackenzie Milcharek. And we've just got the finalists up for the 800. So the auto qualifiers were Bissett, Anderson, Murray, Gist, Landon and Dess from heats 1, 2 and 3. So Bissett, Anderson, Murray, Gist, Landon and Dess auto. Non-auto on fastest time, Sarah Billings from Melbourne Uni and also Ali Sanford from Box Hill. So they're our 8 going through for the final of the women's event. And we'll try and get clarification on the men's. Okay, and in the men's, the auto qualifiers were Scott, Muir, Russell, Mann, Lonergan and Barber. And the ones going through on fastest time, Hayden Cobb from Queensland and Alex Beddoes from Cook Islands.
We just had to do a bit of reshuffling of the meet manager file. Initially, Alex ran the 8th fastest time, but he wasn't showing up on the qualifying, so we've just tweaked meet manager to play nice. Finally have published the final for the men's 800.
Well, that's good. He's training with Rinaldi and Co at the moment. He's an Olympic representative for Cook Islands, and it's good to see him over here with such a strong grouping, and we're hoping to see some big things from Alex over time.
Yeah, great to see him in the final. And you mentioned Rinaldi. I mean, it's a big week of athletics, not only this weekend but also next weekend with the Jandakot Airport Track Classic in Perth, where the battle for the 800-metre pre-nationals title is on, with Peter Bowl, Joey Ding.
I was reading in the news today too that the Cook Islands are looking to rename themselves. They're so similar to Aotearoa and New Zealand.
Oh, wow.
Cook Islands want to get a more of a Polynesian name, and I reckon if Alex Beddoes wins the Victorian State Championship, maybe we'll look at Rinaldi Islands. What do you think?
Oh dear. I think you've shown that you're a fangirl, Tim, so we'll leave it there. But I just saw Justin popped up into the administration area questioning, where was Alex's name in the final 8, and we've just told him it's been fixed. So he's
Tell him to open his eyes. Yeah.
He was very happy.
A great man of Australian 800-metre running is Justin Rinaldi. That is exciting for Alex, and also for I did like that run from Cobb from Queensland. He put himself out there, so well deserved. Looks like we've got some lost property. So we've had a little bit of lost property handed in, and that's a Garmin watch. I won't say what colour, because you'll have to identify that if you come up to the announcer's booth. We've got a Garmin. Looks like Felix Lonergan's claiming that one. I don't know if it's your colour though, Felix.
So this is the combined open and under 17 shot put final. So quickly run through the field of the under 17s in the meantime. Another presentation.
Thanks, Glenn. Presentation for the open men's shot put throw, and receiving the bronze medal with a throw of 40 metres 13 from Doncaster Athletic Club, Declan Carman. And receiving the silver medal with a throw of 50 metres 50 from Athletics Waverley, Shane Carstairs. And our gold medalist with a putt of 60 metres 66 from Old Melburnians, Matthew Cowie. So big congratulations in hand for Matthew, Shane and Declan in the open men's shot put throw.
So still plenty of action happening in the under 17 shot put. We'll quickly run through the field. Abby Cripple from Geelong, Mackenzie Sharek from Corio, Gemma Johansson from Ringwood, Caitlin McCormack from Casey, Emily Ryan from Mentone, Tali Ferguson from Frankston, Vanessa Lumakovsky from Whittlesea, Alyssa Wooding from Western Australia, and Susanna Lutuai from Athletics Nunawading. So we mentioned earlier that the open women's shot put would be run concurrently. We're replaying it. We had issues with the EDM, which our testing it from the first round to the last round was a metre out, so disappointing. We've already apologised to all of our competitors. We've offered them an opportunity to compete again, which they have decided to accept, which is awesome. We thank them for their patience. So we're back to the back to the tape and measuring. So Kira Davey. So she's on 9.88 round number 1, 9.08 round number 2. So you can see one of our cameramen, Raf Agostino, taking a well-earned break in the background.
As we see Mendez stepping into the ring. Saw her sister do a beautiful triple last week. Glenn, 12.23 for Catherine. So Louise, more familiar in the throwing circles. Ooh, that's...
Nope.
Has she hold on?
That's why the board's there. So, white flag from Andrew Duncan, our board judge.
It will be a measure. So 11.84 currently her best, as you can see on the screen. It's nice to have good graphics.
A big thank you to Lockie Rayner and his team, bringing us pictures live from Lakeside Stadium on day 4 of the 2019 Coles Athletics Victoria Track and Field Championships. A special thank you to Lockie's younger brother, who's out there providing us with all that data.
There's Limburg. White flag up. Great all-round athlete, this one, isn't she, Glenn? Seeing her at the HVC, doing sprints and a few jumps.
Yeah, which is great. Big supporter of, again, all of the competitions here across the summer period. Perfect reminder, Tim, both you and I have got 2 of our specialist groups coming up. 21st of March, Milers Club here at Lakeside Stadium, commencing at about 6 o'clock.
6:30.
6:30, and then HVC 5. So a big program, 1s, 2s, 4s, and then we have sprint hurdles and long hurdles, as well as triple and long. So entries via the AV member portal. So 10.25 for Emma Werner for round 1, 9.92. Can she improve?
She is affectionately known as Emma Beyonce Werner as well in the throwing circles.
Oh.
Well, certainly that's what I call her.
Well, there you go.
So Emma's not having the greatest of 3 runs here. That wasn't a good effort. 10.25 best. The girls seem to be coping pretty well. There's a few who have not turned back up again. Probably, I think we've lost 3, but that's still pretty good effort for these girls to get back out and have their 6 throws again. Temperature dropping now. I think it'd be the wrong side of 20 degrees, Glenn.
We will check on the Handy Bomb website.
They're now doing the reorder after round 3. So Emma Berg will be leading. I think it would be Limburg, 12.63, so 21.1, but feels like 17. I'm going with the feels like at the moment.
In this beautifully air-conditioned and warm commentary position.
That's right. So 12.63 for Limburg has got her right up there as well. And then I'd say it's Mendez with the 11.84 in next position. So I don't think there's a lot of change from the first comp there, Glenn, either, which hopefully there won't be too much dramatic change.
Yeah, so end of round 3, we'll go through the reshuffling phase. The top 8, which is basically all of them. We've lost Celeste Mucci and Yvette Owens, not in the rerun.
And also, I think, Holloway from...
Thank you very much. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Just a reminder, we do have 2 more days of action-packed competition starting tomorrow morning, 9:30, and heading right through till about 4:30, and then Sunday, our finals day with our short hurdles, commencing with the final of the men's 110-metre hurdles, going all the way down to the ladies under 15 80-metre hurdles. Have our heats of the 200 metres. There are a number of 3Ks on the program tomorrow. Looking forward to another big day of action here at Lakeside Stadium, commencing at 10 o'clock in the field. Sorry, 10 o'clock in the track and 10 o'clock in the field. So a field referee just confirming the throwing order for the next couple of throws, the next 3 throws. So ladies and gentlemen, plenty of action still happening. The under 17 and women's open shot put, long jump, looked like it's concluded. The medal ceremony will be conducted very shortly. Just a reminder, the competition will start at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Please make sure that you check in 90 minutes prior to the event start time. Sorry, 60 minutes, my apologies. 60 minutes prior to the advertised start time. It is day 4. Tomorrow will be day 5. Just a reminder, if any of your family and friends are unable to make it to Lakeside Stadium tomorrow, please catch all the action on ASVIC TV. You'll find us via our YouTube page or on Facebook. Take this opportunity to thank our officials. Thank you very much, and our club helpers. As I said, our competition is still underway in the shot put, and a medal presentation coming your way shortly.
At championships, to make sure you get to compete, friends get to watch, or you get to be coached, do the following after arrival at the venue. Sign in for your event. Warm up. Go to the call room. And then finally, compete. These are the 4 steps to remember, so you won't be excluded from your event. As soon as you arrive, go to the athlete check-in room and sign in for your event of that day of competition. Sign-in closes 1 hour before the advertised event start time. Then you can warm up for your event. While you are warming up, the sign-in sheets are processed by administration to allocate heats and generate the paperwork for call room, photo finish, the announcer and all the officials at the event. Report to the call room by the required minutes before your event. Not all times are the same. At the call room you are checked for correct uniform and bib numbers. Hip numbers are distributed for circular events. And you must be correctly attired.
Yeah, look, I'm going to say to David Armstrong, that is a wonderful video that he produced on day 1 of the championships. Provides a great insight as to what you need to do. As you head back to round number 4, this is the under-17 competition. So 3, 5, 5, 8. Now that's not the distance, that is actually Gemma Johansson from Ringwood coming into the circle. You can see her previous 3 rounds throws.
So 10:44, her best. White flag went up. So that was Abby Cripple from Geelong Guild. So Susanna Lutui from Nunawading, next one in the ring in the under-17 competition for shot put. 12:07 her best. Oh, and that looked good.
Yeah, good throw.
Nice height on that one.
Now field referee Christine Christie in the background. She's doing a marvellous job today. She's looking after, she had 4 field event sites. She had to deal with that tricky situation with the EDM and came up with a great solution with our comp director to rerun the competition. So Wayne Hogan, president of Knox, one of our club helpers in the orange vest, Tim.
Yeah, well, and our clubs do a great job, don't they, supporting the event. And as we well know, though, we do need their help, or else a competition like this is very hard to conduct. That was Ferguson from Frankston. Caitlin McCormick from Casey Cardinia will be next one. It's under 17s.
Also, just a reminder if everyone's watching, big weekend, Mooba Festival. So if you are heading down to Lakeside, which at the moment looks very much like a Formula One Grand Prix track, considering all of the grandstands going up around the car parks, the last remnants of an athletics facility is actually watching what happens on the inside. So if you're heading down tomorrow, give yourself plenty of time.
And that's also for Sunday too. We'll have the and through to Monday as well.
Yeah, that's true. So
Weekend
Monday,
in Melbourne.
big weekend, Moomba Festival, including the Yarra water ski short. I think it's short and long course.
Yep.
Well, it's won multiple times by Mark Beretta, Channel 7 News reporter.
I was down on the river yesterday, and it's really looking a treat down there. They've got all the displays there, and yeah, it's a big weekend in Melbourne. And the weather's looking pretty good for us too.
Yeah, 26 degrees. One of the challenges in Melbourne across the summer has been the amount of road construction, but I tell you, when it's all finished, it's going to look a treat. Swan Street Bridge.
Although we're still looking at, another 4 years before the Domain is back to being the Domain. But yeah, all for a good cause with that wonderful station, which actually is going to be a good thing for this stadium to have a major railway station less than a kilometre away.
Emily Ryan from Mentone. Final preparations, making sure the put is nice and dry. So is Mackenzie.
Yeah, Milcharik. She looks I'm not sure if she's a multi-eventer, but certainly looks that way, doesn't she?
Yep, certainly does.
Impressive looking athlete. Red flag, unfortunately, for that one.
Headed
Best of, 1468, so is that our event lead, potentially?
We'd be coming up to the top couple of throwers.
As we're now moving back to the open competitors, I think, Glenn. So Kira Davey from Melbourne University. So next to our open, so 977. Oh, sorry, 988.
Just didn't quite get the elevation and push through the putt. So hence the reason why it tended to drop a lot quicker. And I've got to thank Ben Offrens, who I sat next to through 4 days of all schools, who knows a lot, but not a master of anything. So helped me through shot put and also pole vault. So send my best to Ben. They've got their Open Championships on this weekend, and also they're in Queensland. To Matt Lynch and the team up there, best of luck for their junior champs.
So Emma Werner in the ring from Eureka.
Much better drive through the transition.
So white flag is up. A bit of a wry smile there from Miss Werner, so I doesn't know whether to like it or not.
So very shortly we'll be heading down for our next long jump presentation by the look of things. The gentlemen getting ready behind the podium, but we're at the back end of this shot put final.
This is Soroka, Kiana Soroka from Albury. And speaking of uniforms, I do like this uniform too, the teal and black.
Well, we talked last weekend about how you're the uniform connoisseur. I actually like the performances from their Albury athletes, and the team up there have done some
They have done
great
an amazing job, actually. And it's good to see a few Wodonga athletes down here as well.
Yeah.
So
The young
10.03 from Werner, and we're just waiting for Soroka now for measure.
So young Bolton, who's...
Young Bolton's a very good athlete, Glenn.
Yeah, ran well in the shorter distances. Here comes it.
Luis Mendez back in the ring, currently in third place, I'd say, in competition, behind Berg and also Lindbergh.
presentation now for the men's under 20 long jump. Receiving the bronze medal with a jump of 6 metres 71 from Mornington Peninsula, Connor Yates. And receiving the silver medal with a jump of 6 metres 84 from St Kevin's, Sebastian Renicky. And our gold medalist with a jump of 6 metres 89 from Sandringham Athletic Club, Tristan Shears. So big congratulations to Tristan, to Sebastian and Connor in the men's under 20 long jump.
So we're into the fourth round of competition of the women's open and under 17 shot put. So into the back end of the competition in the ring, Emma Berg.
So looked like a good one there for Emma Berg. She is our competition leader at the moment in the women's open shot put with a best of 13.49. Second position currently is Rachel Lindberg, 12.63, and Louise Mendez, 11.84. So Kira Davey, Melbourne University. As we said, Melbourne Uni pretty keen to be racking up the points here in the open comp because they've gone into the last weekend of competition leading the HH Hunter Shield. They haven't won it in a very long time. I think Essendon's won it something like 9 out of the last 13 years or something like that, Glenn. So they've been dominant, but now Melbourne Unis have got a sniff.
And in fact, I've presented the last 4 years, I think, to Essendon. Just got one moment. Special page for Craig Wallace, if you could make your way up to administration. Craig Wallace. Sorry, Tim, we double as venue announcers.
Well,
so
we do, but yeah, it's quite exciting for Uni. And they've had a good night tonight. We've seen Shaw win the men's steeple. They also had Montag winning the women's walk. So I'm going to do an update of the point scores tonight before we go, as we head into day 5 of 6 of this championship.
It's certainly a trophy that all the clubs love having their name inscribed on.
Yeah, and look, we've seen Box Hill and particularly Essendon in the recent decade dominate that, just simply due to depth across a lot of events, plus a few big events like the triple jump that they might get 5 placings out of 8, and that's just a massive point score because it's top 8 that counts.
Well, think a couple of years back in 2012, Box Hill with their dominance in pole vault.
Yeah, exactly.
Men and women.
In a similar situation, they might have had 5 of the top 8, and that's just a point score that's hard to go over. But Melbourne Uni have just been general. They've just been across a lot of different events, and we saw in that women's 8 as well, because you had Anderson and Bissett and also Billings. I think they got 3 in the final there.
Well, just like the AFL, Hamish has done a great job of encouraging athletes to come to Melbourne University. We do love Hamish.
The scholarship system there is quite inducive. And they certainly have picked up some good athletes as a result, but they've also developed quite a lot of athletes through the uni system there as well. So
absolutely, and it is a great opportunity. As much as I'd joke about Hamish, he is a wonderful supporter and contributor to Melbourne University sport and to the athletic club. Jemima Montag, one in particular, a new scholarship holder. So Rachel Lindberg about to come up in round number 4.
I really like the way that these heptathletes take to the shot, and she's a very proficient shot putter. As we see, she's going to potentially get 2nd or 3rd. She'll definitely medal here in the Victorian Open Championship.
Also, and it's stating the obvious, it gives the multi-eventers an opportunity to have 6 throws, which they obviously don't get when they're competing. And the pressure to ensure that every throw during the heptathlon gets the maximum amount of distance and the maximum amount of points. Here they can work on their technique and improve their craft so that when they do come up to get their 3 rounds in competition, all 3 throws are near their best.
So 12.63 currently the best for Lindberg. We haven't seen the measure come through yet. As we see our competition leader Emma Berg representing South Bendigo.
Wonderful part of the world.
Yeah, she's from Northern Victoria.
That's much better, although didn't quite get the elevation that she wanted.
So 12.15 for Limburg in round 5. I don't think we're going to see a lot of change here. I think that 13.49 for Emma Berg is going to be hard to beat, Glenn. She's waiting patiently. Turns around. What does she think about that one? We'll have it come up on our little scoreboard. And thanks to the guys for the technology that's allowing us to look in on the distances. 13.02. So reason to be fairly happy there for Emma Berg. So Berg on 13.49, Limburg 12.63, and then Mendez 11.84. I reckon Soroka might be next on 11.20. Must be getting a bit chilly out there. You can see Rachel Limburg all rugged up in between throws.
It's so been chalk and cheese between last weekend and this weekend. You know, we were sitting at 34 degrees last Friday night. The heat to the 100s, if you recall, and heat to the 4 was...
Yeah, I reckon those shot put girls would have loved that sort of condition, though.
Yeah, it would have been great to keep the bodies nice and warm.
Although it's not super cold. You know, I've been here on terribly freezing nights here for track and field athletics, and it's sitting at about 17 degrees air temperature, or feels like at the moment, so not too bad.
So into that final round.
Yep, Emma Werner, final throw there. Soroka next in the ring. So 9.24 for Davey to round out. Soroka stepped out. So
front of the wing. Yep.
The medalists are now decided, Glenn, with Soroka not getting a throw on that one. So it will be Berg, Limburg and Mendez. And it's now just up to the girls what they can do with their last throws. So Mendez is next into the ring. Currently in the bronze medal position. She needs 12.64.
Big improvement on what she's been throwing. She's had 2 no throws. Really needs to dig deep. Work on her transition. See, she's one of the few girls that actually does a rotation. It's reasonably well out there. Might be a bit short around the 11.90, 11.96.
You think 11.96? Okay, let's see if the wizard can do his stuff here. Well, that would be an improvement if she got it. I'm thinking more about the 11.62 mark. So we're now waiting for the magical figures of Raf Agostino to punch in as Rachel Limburg limbers up. Currently in the silver medal position. That was a bit flat, I think. Big smile, though, from Rachel. That rounds out her comp. 11.76. Well, yeah. I was a bit closer. I'll take that one. As Limburg finishes off, and we've got the gold medalist, Emma Berg. She won the first comp. She'll win the second.
1150 will be this next throw. I've got a feeling, Tim.
1150 for Limburg. And you were spot on.
Oh goodness!
I wonder how that happened. The miracle of technology. As
it's great to have an earpiece into the producer.
Yeah, as Emma Berg steps in for her final throw. So 13.49 on the opening throw, then a 13.21. She leads the comp. Looks pretty happy. That looks legal. White flag is up. Nice way to finish the comp, isn't it, Glenn? On a nice legal throw.
It is. And just want to take this opportunity to thank one of our staff, Luke Lehman, who left after the state championships last weekend. He was one of our competition coordinators. Big thank you to him for delivering weekend 1 of our state championships.
Gone but not forgotten.
That's true. So that just about wraps up competition on day number 4. Tim, as always, it's been your pleasure to have me in your company. So we'll take a well-deserved break overnight. On behalf of Tim Crosby, this is Glenn Turner saying we'll join you tomorrow for the Coles 2019 Athletics Victoria Track and Field Championships. Say hi to your mum for me.
Thanks, Glenn.